Alright, hey guys, welcome to our channel.
Hi guys.
Well, it's the beginning of December. It's a bit chilly out.
It is a bit chilly. It's very windy out here right now.
It is, but we decided to take the dogs out a little bit, and what we're going to give you today is a recap of everything that we did in 2022.
Yeah, to prepare to become homesteaders.
That's right. Now we leave here in southern New England in 10 weeks for the Ozarks of Arkansas, where our homestead property is. And over this last year, we have tried to perfect many of the skills that we'll need when we're down there. And we thought we'd show you some of the things that we learned and some of the mistakes that we made.
And all the things that we got accomplished in the past year.
That's right. So
actually on our homestead.
On our homestead and preparing up here. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time. Let's go check that out.
The year didn't start off too well. Rocco injured his paw on a walk on January 1st. 9 hours later, Rocco came home to us.
All right, Bob, you ready to go home? Come on, let's go home.
It didn't take long after that, and winter started to set in. The snow covered the ground in a beautiful blanket of white.
That's life in New England, folks. All right.
With winter full upon us, I took the opportunity to cook a few different meals so that I knew that I would be able to help out Missy when the time came. Before you knew it, it was mid-February, and I headed down to make racks for our artificial lights. We were going to try sowing seeds this year, something that we haven't done on this scale before. Our basement was only between 50 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit. The ambient temperature really makes a difference when you're trying to sow seeds. Although it took a while, once things warmed up a bit, everything started to sprout. Before long, it was time to plant our second round of seeds. Spring turkey season rolled around, and hunting is one of those things I'm really trying hard to get better at. Although I covered a lot of ground and spent plenty of time in the woods, I just couldn't get a turkey close enough to get a shot off. With April fading into May, it was time to get out to the community garden, get it prepped and fenced off so we could get all of the plants that we had started from seed into the ground. This is the first time we've used weed fabric at this scale, and we couldn't be happier. Missy starts direct sowing some of our frost hardy plants. The beginning of June means the heat-tolerant plants can start going into the ground. Look guys, we got pepper flowers. With the garden really starting to produce, it was time for us to head down to Arkansas. We had so much work to complete and only 2 weeks to do it. With a short amount of time, we had to drill 16 holes for our sonotube foundation, get concrete in and poured, lay 400 feet of water line and 3 frost frees, build a driveway, amend our soil, and make the arrangements for power to be brought out. In the end, everyone was exhausted, even the dogs. But we got everything we needed done, and it was time to head back to New England. We were sad to leave our homestead. By the time we got home, our garden had simply exploded, and we were harvesting every day and preserving anything that we couldn't eat fresh. September brought us to the Fall Gathering, the first annual event for homesteaders in New
Hi,
England.
how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
And this is the Wild Heart Farm.
Wild Heart Farm.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
And you are the Autumn Frost Farm.
There was amazing seminars. We learned so much.
Keep accountable to yourself and say, okay, I did this one thing.
All right, we're here with Murray McMurray, and this is Tom. He's the owner of Murray McMurray Hatcheries.
We got to
We call
see
this section
sheep
the long
shearing.
blows because once you get up to this section, these are the longest blows on the sheep, from about the start of their hip to the top of their head.
So who likes hands-on experience? That's why a lot of us come to these things, right? And I happened to find a classified ad that I thought might interest somebody in the audience, Jackie.
And chicken processing, one of the things we desperately wanted to get a chance to see before we went down to our homestead.
At this point, I take the rest of the neck skin, pull it over the back of the neck, kind of work everything loose in here. And then take my knife with the neck skin pulled back because I want to leave the skin on. Skin is delicious on chickens.
Why at the end of the day, on the last day, why are we actually talking about farm business? Why are we talking about, or better yet, homestead business? Why are we talking about making money as the thing to go home and remember, even if some of you haven't even started homesteading?
Text me. No stupid memes.
Okay, how often do you see a pig walking around? Doesn't seem to have an owner. Hey, little pig. Hi.
Yes, I don't.
The day after the gathering, I was back in the truck, headed back down to our homestead in Arkansas. I had a few more things that I had to get done, and I was bringing down the last of our belongings to put in storage. With our belongings safely in storage, I jumped on the next task. The second round of amendments had to get applied now if we were going to be ready for spring. With only 3 days for this trip, I was back in the truck, headed for New England. The beginning of October signaled the end of the garden. We had to get out there and get everything cleaned up. This was going to be our last year at the community garden.
Put your left hand right on it.
By the first frost, I was able to get into the woods and start hunting for white-tailed deer. I had a ground blind and a tree stand. I tried my best, but so far this year, I have not had any success.
All right, guys, that is 2022 for us.
Yeah, it was busy.
It was a very busy year.
Started off rough.
It did. It started off rough with Rocco getting injured, but he's doing fine now. And we learned so much.
We did.
From sowing seeds to working in the garden, canning, preserving.
Yeah.
So much, and we got a lot accomplished this summer. The homestead is pretty much ready for us to come down there.
It is ready. There's some things that we still need to work on getting done when we get down there, but
There is, but we have water, we have sewer.
it's ready for us to arrive.
That's right, and we have power, so we can go down there, pull the camper in, and at least have the basics while we get the rest of the operation up and running.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's do it for us for today and for 2022.
Yeah.
We hope that you enjoyed it, and you'll hit the subscribe button and follow along on our journey. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye, guys.